Hi, everyone. Tara Wood here. And as part of my efforts to educate the public on daily essential nutrients and how it's designed for the brain, I want to dive a little deeper into the research and how it has helped. And we may use the abbreviation DEN for short. You can go to my website, and if you click on brain, you can see more detailed information and personal stories about the various disorders. Here are just some of the challenges that daily essential nutrients has helped with: mood and thinking, social problems, behavior, self-harm, and stress. As I get started, I want you to know that depending on the severity of each case I'm going to go over, the recovery of some of the symptoms can vary from a few weeks to several months. With ADHD, some of the main issues that we're worried about and concerned about are anxiety, depression, aggression, focus, emotional control, getting along with other people. And in using the DEN, all those issues I just described saw remarkable improvement. A lot of research has been done on ADHD with kids. And as you can see, some of the results they had was a decrease in aggression, anxiety, increase in focus, and really one fun side effect is there was actually an increase in growth height in kids. Bipolar disorder type 1 and 2, some of the earliest studies that were done in this broad spectrum micronutrient was with kids and adults. Improvements were seen in the areas of mood stability. They had increased energy. They could have mental clarity without any mania. They would have better sleep, basically overall functioning and being able to sort of get along and with interpersonal skills. With depression, studies that were focused on were postpartum depression, adolescent depression, PMS, and other depressions that were situationally induced. And I want to express, we've really come a long way in psychology in dealing with depression. Historically, some of the methods have been quite barbaric. My own grandmother, who suffered from manic depression, was among the last group of people in the late 60s in Canada to receive a lobotomy. Not only did it not work, it made her more emotional, and she was actually confined to a long-term stroke unit. So what has DEN done with depression disorders? Well, we saw an increase in mood, more energy, the sleep quality and quantity was better, mental clarity, and definitely a decrease in negative self-talk and suicidal ideation. Within 4 to 6 months, clients and researchers saw about a 50% improvement. And as you carry on, the improvement continues past the 6 months. This is a tougher disorder and it really takes time, so you need to be patient. But what I find is that when you give your brain the right important foundation, the right nutrition at cellular level, the other therapies that you add on that are extremely important and very valuable, they will work better, faster, more efficient. So things like massage and meditation and exercise, seeing a counselor, and any of the various therapies that a psychologist may suggest, they are going to have more success if you combine the DEN with those therapies. This holistic approach is extremely effective. Stress and anxiety has been very successful in situations of extreme stress or situationally anxiety. Other disorders like social, general, and panic. It's really common to see anxiety combined with other disorders. And so some of the improvements we saw was a decreased worry and fearfulness, better sleep, reduce the racing thoughts, reducing physical symptoms like panic. Now, because stress and anxiety is really widespread now due to world events, and if you don't have any pre-existing mental health issues or diagnosed disorder, I would really recommend for general brain health to get on the non-clinical version of the DEN called Optimal Balance. We have one version for men, one for women, or you could be on the daily essential nutrients. You're just going to be at half the dose. Autism. Some of the challenges we worry about are outbursts, withdrawal, mood dysregulation, self-harm. Studies with autistic children using the DEN saw an overall improvement in functioning. There was an increase in psychiatric health, a real reduction in behaviors like self-harm, And if you add the greens and probiotic formula that was specially developed, we saw better improvements in bowel functioning. Now, what was also actually really exciting in that research that they were looking at, that just being on the daily essential nutrients, there was an increase in biodiversity of the gut biome. Now, for myself, I've noticed some remarkable changes with my more severely autistic child, Joseph. He used to struggle with constipation. He was really mostly nonverbal as a young child. He was addicted to sweets. However, things actually took a real positive turn for him in the work we did. He's actually quite a chatterbox. And even during simple meals like mac and cheese, he's actually really eager to explore the different flavors in my spice shelf and various seasonings. And this really is a far cry from his earlier days when all he would eat is Cheerios, chicken nuggets, chips, and goldfish. Insomnia. As mentioned before, issues with sleep quality and sleep quantity really improve when you take the Den on a regular basis. One thing to be aware of is not to take it really close to bedtime, because the B vitamins give you a lot of energy. So if you're struggling to quiet down before bedtime, take your last dose around dinner time. Schizophrenia and OCD. Well, some of the concerns we have are delusions and obsessions and anxiety and hallucinations. When they combined schizophrenia and OCD with the daily essential nutrients, the real cases reported a reduction in psychosis, OCD, anxiety, improved sleep, mood, and mental clarity. A couple things I want you to be aware of is this is a much more complex case, and it does take a little longer. You will want to work with a senior support staff advisor and your doctor, because you may or may not be able to fully get off medications. It really depends on the case. And unfortunately, if you are court ordered to be on medications, you won't be able to take the daily essential nutrients until that court order changes. If you want your doctor to learn more about this product, the scientists at Hardy Nutritionals are very happy to educate and work with them. Let's talk about addiction: smoking, drug abuse, alcohol, cannabis, nicotine, all that sort of stuff. Many clients who are also being treated for other disorders reported that their craving for these substances dramatically reduced and had a higher quit rate. One thing I want to mention is that it is very difficult to really get the full effect of the Den if you're also taking addictive, harmful substances. So you really should decide that it's going to be your goal to wean off of them and work with support during this process. Traumatic brain injuries. People with this will struggle with mood dysregulation, their thinking, verbal processing, daily activities, job, interpersonal skills. All of this really suffers. By using the daily essential nutrients in their studies, they found an increase in overall functioning, mood, cognition, and verbal processing, and emotional control. There was about an 80% improvement between 3 and 6 months. If you haven't had the chance, you really need to watch my first video or go to my blog to read my daughter Julia's concussion story. In the video, I go over the power this formula really has on brain plasticity. Just to recap, there was a study done in 2009 at the world-renowned Canadian Centre for Behavioral Neuroscience in Alberta. You had 2 groups of rats that essentially had lobotomies. Their frontal and parietal lobes were surgically removed. One group was fed Purina rat chow, the other an earlier version of the broad spectrum micronutrients. And as you can see, pictures show a never before seen regrowth of cortical tissue, allowing them to recover full cognitive function when they were put on the micronutrients. I want to thank you for your time. And if you go to my website, restorethebrain.com, you can read more. You can email me at tarawood@live.ca for specific questions or set up a free consultation. When you order daily essential nutrients from me, please expect that I will contact you to go over taking it properly, or if needed, to facilitate opening up a free case file with advanced support staff at Hardy Nutritionals. As always, it's recommended that you work closely with your healthcare professional to ensure that you realize the best results, especially if you're on medication. Thank you so much, and I hope that you will allow me to help you find calm in the chaos.